Oh my gosh, I'm totally late. Sorry. I've always kind of agreed that if you aren't early, you are not on time. Yeah, 6:46 here this morning for Mobility Monday. Gotta tell you, not okay with me. So sorry. But I've just been thinking so much. Let's go into a lateral step. Make sure both feet are nice and aligned and anchored. Anchoring means that your heel is ever so slightly outside of your toes. And what that does is it parallels the fifth metatarsal, the pinky toe. So you want to parallel that and just bring alignment into the hips and into that single leg landing of lateral step. But yeah, I've been thinking so much. Things are going solid. Like, knock on wood, we're midway through the summer. We're kind of starting to ramp up and think about championship season, 2 more of these. And I'm just always learning, always thinking, and always focused on the good of my athletes, all levels. How's it going? You know, and I'm really, really pleased with how it's going. Mobility Monday, it's a great way to start the week. It's how I want everyone to begin their week, is on Mondays. We just come back to optimizing movement in the body. So let's take a big step to the back. Feet end up perpendicular, and we just bring it straight back to the middle. Most of these Mobility Mondays, they're simple. They are a low physical ask. And they're simple. And they're simple, which makes them accessible. And when things are accessible, you're more likely to show up, right? Even if you don't show up to join me for Mobility Monday, I'm assuming that throughout your Monday, hopefully that's about 10, hopefully throughout your Monday, you are in fact focusing throughout your day on moving well through your ankles, your hips, and your thoracic spine. Everything in between should be more stable, should be less mobile. So it's very difficult to have a conversation about mobility all the time without talking about having the ability to stand on one foot and be stable and be strong. So let's go ahead and stand on your left foot. Pull your ribs off your hips. Decompress. Press into the 3 key points on your foot. So it's going to be the ball joint of your big toe, the ball joint of your little toe, and your heel. 3 points of contact through that foot. All of them strong into the ground. Single leg stability. Single leg stability relates to the sequencing in the lower body, and if we make it relevant, and the upper body. So decompressing, pulling the ribs off the hips, doing it at the same time as pushing the foot into the ground with intent. So we've got intentional force through the foot, the ball joint of the big toe, the ball joint of the little toe, and through the heel. 3 points of contact. That foot contact usually is going to elicit a good glute firing and a healthy hip sequencing. Let's go one more time to the left leg. 3 points of contact on the foot. Pull the ribs off the hips. And let's go ahead and take both hands. I'm going to give you a side view here. Don't go back here so your spine goes into big extension. Stand on one foot. Raise the hands. If you had a baseball cap on, the hands would be right in front, right over top of the bill of the hat. Take the other leg, take the heel lateral to the midline. So internally rotate the back foot, and you're going to start to feel internal rotation on this leg you're standing on. Now you should feel some glute fire. Long through the belly, reach through the fingertips. There should be tension in your hands. All right? Same thing on the other side. So we're decompressing, actively decompressing. Right foot stance, 3 points of contact into the foot. Left leg is in extension. Heel is lateral to the toes. Pull the ribs off the hips. Hands overhead. Driving the bit, ball joint of the big toe, ball joint of the little toe, and the heel. Lengthen through the belly. Maybe take a couple of big breaths to expand the rib cage. Internally rotate into the leg you're standing on just a little bit. So that means drop that left hip into the midline and breathe into that. Good job. So mobility, stability, two different things working together. Let's go right back to where we started. This time we're going to add a reach at chest height. So right leg, land, knee is in, reach at chest height. Come on back. Get a little more specific here. Let's go 10 of these. 1, move through the chest. 2, 3, knee stays in. 4, 5, 6, starting to work into that right hip. 7, 8, 9, good, and 10. Do the same thing on the other side. As you do that, keep thinking about decompression. Keep thinking about elevating the ribs off the hips. To the left, 1, got a little bow and arrow action there, 2, 3. Don't ever take this for granted, guys. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. 9, good, and 10. Nice. All right, let's go into that wide stance. We're just going to go alternating sides and reach to the ground. We'll do that from the hinge position. So pull the ribs off the hips, push the butt back. There's your hinge. You can see how long the spine is, great spine angle. And we're just reaching with the left arm to the ground and then the right arm to the ground. 3, 4, shoulder drops down. 5, I show you my back, show you my chest. 6, 7, 8, 9. If you follow me on Strava, 10. 2025 has been a year for me of staying baseline aerobically fit. I'm super healthy. I'm super happy with how my body's working, how strong I am. But I can say my aerobic capacity is not what it used to be. And I'm fit, but I'm not as fit as usual. So if you follow me on Strava, you might have seen that I did a bike ride yesterday. Crazy. I was riding with one of my athletes and she was running, talking the whole time. And I looked down at my heart rate and I'm like, I am totally almost in zone 2 while she's running and talking and I'm riding on my bike. So it's kind of funny how relative that is. That usually for me would be about 10 beats lower, I think. Okay, pull both knees into your chest. Nice and easy. Keep the knees relatively close. There is mobility. So we're just kind of gently tugging the knees in. We're hopefully letting the sacrum, the big tailbone, above the tailbone actually, just kind of drop and get long. And we're just going to reach through the left leg, create tension in the left leg as you push through the heel. 1, 1. But it blows my mind how fit some of my kids are. It's really, really cool and fun. And just talking and happy and relaxed and quite fast and good and good and good. All right, from right there, let's just toggle the feet a little bit, or the knees. So go into a wide stance. Your feet should be way outside of your hips. And we're just dropping to the midline. And this is where you can really start seeing the tightness in the quad. And remember, the big quad, the rectus femoris, it crosses the hip. So it is a hip flexor as well. So tightness in the quad is tightness in the hip flexor. It's not just the psoas muscle. So just nice and easy, create tension and length, tension and length. Take a big breath. Good. We want to get the front side of the body nice and open So we have more access to the back side of the body, the back line, and being able to use it while we run, while we ride, while we hike, everything. The back line is what holds us up against gravity. So focus on the back line is a darn good thing. All right, stability, a little bit of function. From right here, let's activate low abdomen, pull pubic bone towards the belly button. And it's a low level firing. It's not like that, like, right? It's just a little bit of a tilt, flatten the hips, lift the hips, big rehab exercise, but there's always gonna be a place, guys, for a bridge. So knees kind of driving in a little bit, that's gonna bring in glute med. You're gonna feel more glute activation when you switch on the adductors by pushing the knees in, and then come right back down. And then flatten the back, pubic bone to belly button, lift those hips up. Nice and strong. You might try and elevate and expand the rib cage from this position. Drive the knees in just a little bit. You can feel IT band. You can maybe feel a little TFL. Everything into the midline just a little bit. Come right back down. And so when you see and feel that, especially in such a regressed exercise like a bridge, and I call it regressed is because it's unloaded. You're laying down. Your spine is not in any kind of danger at all. And we're just gonna, it just tells such a beautiful story of how the lower body functions. Pull the pubic bone to belly button, lift the hips up nice and high. Take a nice big breath. Let's take the hands overhead. I immediately get a little tugging in my low back. That's because the lats attach down there, and I can tell that I have tight lats just by how it pulls me more into extension. So I'm gonna leave the arms long. Let's go ahead and pull the pubic bone to belly button. This is a weird position because the spine should naturally curve, but right here in this fully extended, backs of the hands are on the ground, head is neutral. I'm asking my spine to actually not be too natural, because it is natural to have a lordotic curve. Your low back, it's natural to have that curve. Your upper back, it's natural to have that curve. As a matter of fact, without that curve, your rib cage and your shoulder blades don't interact in a really healthy way. So this is your kyphotic curve. You just, there's healthy and unhealthy, right? Everything can go to excess. Let's go into a lateral half kneeling. So we're just gonna get a little more tug on the adductor, push the hips back, keep the chest up, keep the eyes up. We're just gonna go 5 each side. 2, 3, 4. Lately I've been heavy on information. 5. I get really excited about how the body works, how you can strengthen it, how you can move it, and how it can become better and better. 3, especially over time. 4, good, and 5. Let's go back to the first side. 2 hands on the ground, and we're just gonna push back and forth. Keep the head up, chin into throat, so you've got a neutral eyes. If you were on a TT bike, you'd be looking down the road about 8 to 10 meters. 3, 4, gentle gliding through the lats. Good. Other side, 2 hands on the ground, just gliding back and forth. 2. Gentle things build trust. 3, 4, and 5, and good. Let's get into the hamstrings just a little bit. Stay on that half kneeling. Extend this foot beyond the knee. So you don't want to be 90-90. Here's 90-90. Take that lead foot, push it out in front. Pull the ribs off the hips, and let's just stay in that same hinge. 2, you can keep hands on hips if you want. 3, adding intensity would be to add the hands out front. You don't need intensity right now. So if you want it, go for it. If you don't, don't. 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10, and right into the other side. Again, just a little extended through the lead knee, and push. 1. You want to feel that end range, but don't go beyond it. 3, no forcing. 4, Chest is up, spine is long. 6, 7, 8, 9, good, and 10, good. Let's work a little shifting. So we'll start this one parallel stance inside of shoulder width. We're just going to be a little teapot here. Pushing into that TFL just a little bit. So TFL and adductor, you can see when my hip goes this way, this muscle has to do something, this muscle has to do something. One shows strength, so TFL shows strength in stability and length, and it's on. And the opposite adductor has to kind of let it be on, has to kind of be off. It's kind of like when you do a bicep curl. This is on, this has to be off. It's eccentrically loading long. So these muscles have functional partners, and reinforcing this kind of movement really helps them begin to trust each other. Oh, you'll work. Oh, TFL. Yeah, you're not tight. You're working. That's good. Okay, I'm going to let you go long. Or I'm going to go long because you're showing me you're strong. Good. And good. And let's go back into a wide stance one more time. The first move we did with the wide stance was the hinge. So we're going to go 5 hinges, 5 each side reaches, gentle, and then we're going to make the reaches bigger. So everything just is a game of add-on. As a former basketball player, it was one of my favorite games. Okay, pull the rib cage off the hips, push the hips back, make sure all points of contact of the foot are on the ground. 2, 3, 4, good. Gently loading hamstrings. 5, now we're going to start to reach. 1, 2, got that little hip turn. 3, 4, halfway. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to make that move bigger. So look up at the hand. 1, 2, 3, hip hinge. 4, hip internal rotation. 5, look up. 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Once you get moving and you understand the relationship between mobility and stability, you start to realize how organized that is. Then you add strength, and a really organized strength program to make sure that when you do lose mobility, because you will, if you're training hard or if you're working hard, you're going to lose mobility. You want to consistently restore mobility, restore and understand stability, what's it useful for in each sport, like a change of direction, being stable, very good for the body to change direction. So it's just this organization of the entire program. Thanks for starting your week with me. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you next Monday.